I'm going to start with the sister. Here we go. Pay attention. Now it's about to get spicy. Okay, so I looked back through. I decided, when was this? A few weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago. I decided to look back through all the Lynn stuff again because I thought maybe I missed something. And I was right. I started thinking, too, why am I always trying to go after Lynn? I should go after his relatives, his sister specifically, because his sister made a website, was making comments in some of the articles saying that he didn't do anything wrong. So it makes sense. Why would I should go for the sister? And why would they not want to talk to me if they think that he didn't do anything wrong? If they think that Lynn was a good guy, why are they not? I mean, I'm trying to clear his name here, and they don't want to talk to me? The whole thing, nothing adds up the way they're acting unless the videos are real. Then it adds up. So I looked back through, and then I remembered his sister's name was Jenny. And the big break was that I found that Jenny was a lawyer. And that made it so that I could find her lawyer ID. And once I found her lawyer ID, boom, everything just fell into place. And it was another situation where it's like, wow, I can't even believe this. Because she wasn't just some nobody. Like, Edward Lynn's sister could have just been some housewife somewhere doing nothing. She could have been anybody. But no, she's not some nobody. She's like a lawyer that's working in government. And so now the picture's starting to make sense. Jenny L. Naylor, senior attorney. 4. This right here means countering weapons of mass destruction. CWMD. U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Georgetown University Law. So both of them came over as Taiwanese and became naturalized Americans, I believe. That's the only story that makes sense. This is somebody that's connected. She's living in D.C., This is, by the way, this is all public information. None of this took no hacking was required. Just found her public LinkedIn. That's all you're looking at here. No elite skills. Oops. Senior attorney for countering weapons of mass destruction, U.S. Department of Homeland Security, providing expert legal advice and counsel to the Office for Countering Weapons of Mass Destruction, including drafting and reviewing sections of departmental and national nuclear and biodefense strategies. Wow. Well, out of all the jobs that I expected Jenny Lynn to have, that was not even on the list. That was not even on the list. Staff judge advocate. Somebody told me this staff judge advocate is, what does this stand for? What's that? JAG? Is that what this is? Someone in the chat let me know. This might be JAG. So this is like, you're the military general counsel. So Edward Lynn's family is like hooked up. She's the general counsel for like the JAG or whatever this is, the Air National Guard. Yeah, this is like JAG. Yep. No, JAG is Air Force, right? JAG is NCIS is Navy. And come on, fam. Who are you talking to, Cham? Okay. And also, it's interesting because she is probably in her 40s. So that means she became an attorney in her 30s or something like that, or late 20s, which I guess isn't that weird. Center for Disease Control. She worked for the CDC for 12 years. Now, this is where, I don't know about you guys. For me, if you were part of the CDC through the beginning of COVID, pretty sus, chat. Pretty sus. That's all I'm saying. This is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say I'm not a huge fan of the way the CDC handled the COVID debacle. And I'm going to go ahead and hope here that the reason why she left the CDC is because she didn't like the way they got handled either. Oh, JAG is Navy? Wait, JAG is Navy? Oh, it is. Wow. Okay. Holy shit. No, JAG is Navy. Okay, so she literally. Okay, so this is wild. So she actually began to work for the Navy as a lawyer in 2017, right after her brother was sentenced. Chat. You guys can smell it too, right? You can smell a rat. You can smell something's fishy. Something is very, 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 very fishy here. She was also a member of the CDC Ebola response team to Sierra Leone. So, yeah, she got her Master of Law in 2021. So, okay. One more thing, guys, because we're not quite done with Jenny Lynn here. Oh, by the way, they've all written books. All these people have written books, including Edward Lynn. Or let's call hers a scientific paper. So she's got a paper right here. And you know what? If you don't believe me about the book thing, it's actually this is just the craziest shit, Chad. Just the craziest shit. Here's Edward C. Lynn's book. Edward C. Lynn has a book. Edward Soraya, right here. Uncompromised Care, Holistic Strategies, blah, blah, blah. This is literally his book, 100% confirmed. After serving 20 years in the U.S. Navy. Same exact guy. There he is. Unreal. Okay, anyway, here's Jenny Lynn, the third nuclear age Jenny Lynn Naylor, Department of Defense and Strategic Studies. There's her email address, I guess. Whoops. Well, now I know how to email her. I guess everyone's going to email her. That's actually not the email address I used, so maybe she has more than one. Anyway, let's read this. Since the end of the Cold War, the bipolar competition and cooperation between the United States and Russia have sustained global strategic stability in the nuclear age. However, destabilizing technologies in the hands of the United States, Russia, and China will markedly change the strategic landscape in the near future. What? I'm going to go full screen. You guys need to make sure you're reading what I'm posting on the screen. Destabilizing technologies in the hands of the United States, Russia, and China will markedly change the strategic landscape in the near future. This article asserts that a technology-enabled multipolar competition will usher in the third nuclear age, which may be identified by three trends. A new arms race with revolutionary weapons that challenge the existing deterrence paradigm. An entanglement of nuclear and non-nuclear force and doctrinal developments in the multipolar competition. A state-driven model of innovation. The article then concludes that new thinking on deterrence geometry, global governance of nuclear non-proliferation and arms control, and nuclear strategy will be needed to maintain strategic stability in the third nuclear age. Okay. Yeah, that's a Yahtzee, chat. Holy fuck. That is oddly specific. She knows. She knows about the orbs. Edward C. Lynn's sister knows about the orbs. Nobody writes this article. Nobody writes this article unless you've seen this. Once you've seen this, that's when you write the article that says that Russia, United States, and China are in a UFO tech arms race, which is basically what this article is saying. And then, of course, it's related to nuclear and non-nuclear force because they're just freaking figured out fusion. And I think she mentions quantum. I think she mentioned quantum stuff. Pretty wild. Los Alamos. But this also just tells us We're not dealing with random nobodies here. This dude's whole family is connected beyond belief. Connected beyond belief. And if you didn't think that was enough, then you look up Shawn Naylor, and he's one of those guys that you like recognize from like the news or because he's a correspondent on people's shows and things like that. And he's a consultant and what have you. To find out today that her husband, who had already reached out to, do I have the screenshots? Sorry, I'm just looking through my stuff. Yeah. But anyway, to find out that her husband, Shawn Naylor, was on Danny Jones, I went, wait, what? Shawn Naylor was on Edward Lynn's brother-in-law? The guy married to the woman that we just looked up right there? Was on Danny Jones 9 months ago? Well, what does he have to say 9 months ago? Let's go to the clip.
Conduct
executive action,
an operation, and if you're going to ask the CIA to go and kill someone, there has to be a president.
It's about the CIA killing people. Jenny Lynn's husband, Edward Lynn's brother-in-law, was on Danny Jones talking about how to extrajudicially kill people legally. Well, chat, it was nice knowing you. I'm never leaving the country ever again, and I'm probably never getting another airplane ever again because this is way too real for me at this point. I mean, shit, I should have a drinking problem at this point. It's sad that I don't because, man, one of the big questions people ask me is, how are you compartmentalizing all this? How are you taking all this? I don't know, man. I just kind of go with the flow because, holy shit, we're in the middle of it right now. So this guy, and Danny Jones talks to like half CIA people. So this guy is apparently connected to the CIA, maybe deep state, maybe writing articles for the New York Times, just to give you some perspective on where his political allegiance might lie. Not to judge too harshly. Maybe we're wrong, but let's see what else he has to say.
Presidential finding for that. If you're asking them to do it, particularly in a non-combat zone. So if you want to kill somebody in Sudan, where the United States is not at war, there has to be a presidential finding signed by the president, usually briefed to the so-called Gang of Eight, which is a sort of the top intelligence committee and congressional leaders.
The Gang of Eight is not related to Congress. The Gang of Eight is related to the Senate. So fact check him right there. But wow. If you're conducting an operation where you want to kill somebody in a non-combat zone, aka you're not in war with them, like MH370, the president has to sign off on it. The president has to sign off on it. What other conclusion can I make? Obama must have signed off on the operation. He didn't just find out afterwards. He must have signed off ahead of a time, right? Otherwise, it was some illegal operation, in which case nobody should be hiding it. If somebody did an illegal operation behind the president, then people should be exposing that. So I'm very curious to hear what Obama has to say about MH370, because what that guy just said is they would know. And the Gang of Eight would have to be briefed on it. Who is in the Gang of Eight, everybody? Who is in the Gang of Eight? Chuck Schumer is in the Gang of Eight. Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio is in the Gang of Eight. So let me just repeat those names. Guys, I don't know how many people are watching right now. Hopefully a lot. Pay close attention, because how many times have I been wrong, or how many times have I been caught in a lie? How many times have I been caught in a lie? Zero. We're on the precipice of an Edward C. Lynn revealed, so listen closely. Shawn Naylor just said the Gang of Eight would have to be briefed. Who's in the Gang of Eight? Marco Rubio and Chuck Schumer. Who is Ashton Forbes said knows about MH370? Who is Ashton Forbes said, I know these people know about MH370? Chuck Schumer and Marco Rubio. How many people know about this? How are they all staying silent about this? This can't be a situation where only like 5 people know. There are dozens of people that know what happened. If Edward Lynn's sister knows what happened, what is going on here? Somebody needs to fess up and start talking here. The world deserves to know the truth of what's going on with this alien technology or whatever is going on with these orbs. Like, we've got you. You're caught. First person to come out and start whistleblowing, you get to live. And I am slightly joking here, but I am at the same time being deadly serious. Anybody, when the shit hits the fan on this, I'm going to be advocating for the death penalty for people that were trying to hide this to the bitter end. For the people that start whistleblowing early on, those people deserve pardons and amnesty. If you're the last person to whistleblow, well, what the guillotine, public executions is the only way that we prevent this from ever happening again. It needs to be a spectacle. We need to like have your families get shamed for generations to come, where it's like, oh, I was part of the Pandolfi family, and the Pandolfi family got ended in the Four Orbs Revolution when it turned out that we were hiding secret technology from everybody and the public got pissed off and decided that your family is going to have a permanent black mark forever because your father was a scummy CIA agent who was preventing the world from having free energy technology. It has to be a spectacle. That's what we have to do. Because we reached this part where the corruption and the cheating and the lies got so bad, it became its own self-perpetuating thing where these people reverse engineered, developed, however they got this technology, figured this technology out and decided they're just better than us. And the only way that nobody can ever think that again is like, it's got to be, when you get caught with something this big, it's got to be like game over, not just for you, but for like your whole lineage. Like the rest of your lineage should bear the stain of your disgrace for the rest of your life, for the rest of their lives, for the rest of your whole family's existence in this universe. That's how you prevent something like this from ever happening again. Okay. Let's listen to what else my man here has to say.
The leaders of and ranking members of the intelligence committees in the House and the Senate, and the ranking the leader of the House, the leader of the Senate, and their and their counterparts from the opposition.
Right.
I'm not an expert on what Billy Waugh went through, but the way you've laid it out to me would suggest that there wasn't a presidential finding sign saying you can go and kill Osama bin Laden if you have him in your sights.
So anyway, whatever, the last part was stupid. It was just really about a matter of, did they have one of those for Osama bin Laden or what was the rules? I mean, I guess the ultimate question is, can they perform an operation without the president's say so? End of the day, that's not even really, I don't even care that much, but I do think Obama probably he's definitely in the know, but if he was also implicated in the operation itself, then it's even worse.